Anya, are those the new Beats?
Funny one. No, these are new headphones in the comm center. They're brand new and they work very well.
Stay tuned for an interview with our own Mr. Doyle talking about all the new equipment we got.
Hi, I'm Cheyenne here with Mr. Doyle to talk about the new equipment that video production have received. Hi, Mr. Doyle, how are you?
Good. How are you, Cheyenne?
I'm fine. So, how did you earn money for this new equipment?
Well, when you say earn money, it's more like it was a gift. We do the Hank Cisco show every week, twice a week, and one of those programs had Dalen Leach on, who's a state senator. And Dalen said that he wanted to support the comm center because of the good work we do. He asked how he could do that, and I said we had a lot of broken equipment last year.
Okay.
It'd be great if we could have some money, like maybe $5,000 to buy a new camera. And he said, well, why don't you apply for a $50,000 grant, and we'll see if we can help you. And with the help of Samantha Detweiler, we were able to look up $50,000 of equipment and put a big grant together, and they approved that grant, and that's where the money came from.
Okay, so why is this important to you?
Why is it important to me?
Yes.
I know, Cheyenne, you worked in this room last year when all the equipment started to fail. I know there's students behind cameras right now who understand that without good equipment, we can't produce things of the quality we're capable of. So you guys are all better than the equipment we had last year. And so we wanted to get equipment that was as good as you, so we can be sure that the stuff we're doing for the community pays off.
So what does this new equipment let us do that we couldn't do before?
So some of the things we got were just upgrades, right? So it isn't new as much as it is stronger, better, faster. So we have some new cameras that simply let us do what we used to do, except with higher quality.
Okay.
But there's some big changes that have happened, and those big changes include our ability to have a camera remotely on a court or a field up to 600 feet away from our switcher and able to send SDI high quality HD signal to that switcher. That means that instead of just shooting a camera from the bleachers, we can have something on the court, or from the top of the press box at a football game, we can have something on the court, and that signal can be sent wirelessly. It's a huge change. We also bought two stabilization devices that let us walk around with a camera. One's a glide cam, which actually is pretty hard to use for you guys to learn, and the other is a Steadicam vest, which we're actually still waiting on to arrive, which will allow us to really move around and see what we're looking for on location with a stable camera instead of a handheld camera that someone might be bouncy or jumpy with. It'll also then make it much more possible for us to do cinematic style work. And we bought a Sony A7, which gives us the ability to shoot cinema quality 4K images with a DSLR camera, and I can train second-year students on that. We have wireless microphones, which don't change very much for us, except we can stop using cables across long spaces when we're on location. We have new tripods. We have some new lighting equipment. And then we also bought a whole rack's worth of live streaming and recording devices that have made a big difference for us.
Okay. So what challenges are we going to face with this new equipment?
Everything's hard to use. And sometimes you guys don't work as hard to learn the hard things. So instead of just being able to shoot video, now you have to practice in most devices. Steadicam could take months to really become an expert at. The glide cam certainly can take weeks of practicing with it, which means you have to pick it up and you have to practice. And that's something that's really challenging for people to do independently. Otherwise, the challenges are just the fact that we have more we're capable of, and we need to rise to the challenge to use those items.
Okay. So what made you start live streaming?
So we began our live streaming process with a switcher we purchased years ago out of money we get from graduation DVDs. And that switcher made it possible for us to go to a football game or a basketball game and live stream those games. And the reason to do that, to some extent, is there are people who are alumni across the country who still are committed to our programs and would like to watch. They can't get here. But also, when we do have a game that we're shooting here, we really want to make it possible for people who are working or whatever to be able to check in on the teams. So we started live streaming basketball really regularly, and we do girls and boys, so we sort of have a balance. and we're hoping to live stream other games as well. We live stream certain events here at the school, events that there isn't a ticket price for.
Okay.
So we would never live stream Mr. Norristown because people need to make money from those tickets. But there are other events we would live stream as well, so the community can see things good happening here at the school.
Okay. So what process does it take? Like, what's the process with live streaming?
So there's two different ways we do it, and the one is when we're at a game, right?
Okay.
And that live streaming is simply pulling a cable out of Mr. Flynn's office in a basketball game and plugging it into our switcher. And then that switcher connects to our YouTube channel. When we live stream an event, it live streams on NASDtv John Doyle on YouTube. So it comes up there and then disappears after the stream because we're going to post a much higher quality version on our NASDtv archive channel. So like you can watch the basketball game on a Friday night on live, and you can watch it live, and it looks similar to what you get in the end, but without credits, and the audio's not as careful as it might be. And then we bring it to the recorded version of that to the studio, and we upload that to NASDtv archives. But there's another way that we're streaming too. We currently have a cable channel that almost no one watches. So Comcast Channel 28 and Verizon Channel 45. Verizon in Montgomery County and Comcast really in the greater Norristown area, they send out signal that we program during the day. So we program about 3 to 4 hours worth of material each day. That includes Friday work that we do as well for like East Norton. We send out East Norton's township meetings, things like that. The county commissioner meetings air on that station. And you watch them at a regular time. So they're not on demand like the YouTube channel. They're things you just watch. You sit and at 5 o'clock on comes Town Night Live, TNL, our entertainment show produced by Period One's class. Okay. And at 6 o'clock a game might come on or a concert. And you can just watch, tune in as you go through the channels. It's where Hank Sisko's broadcast. But people who have DirecTV or people who don't really access cable, like they've cut the cord on cable, can't watch any of that.
Okay.
So we're now just live streaming that straight. So there's a new channel called NASDtv, just straight NASDtv. If you search that on YouTube, up will come a channel where you can click and the stream is on. It has the daily schedule. It's running commercials that we produce about activities at school. It's running slides about activities in the community and at the school throughout the day. So it's going to become an information source for Norristown in a different way than we've been able to do before. But you don't have control over it. It just sort of vomits out the programming all day long. And if you click on the link, you can watch it. If you can't find it by searching NASDtv on YouTube, if you're already subscribed to one of our channels, you can go to that channel, click on the link in featured channels, and you'll be able to watch it there.
Okay.
And so that's really a gigantic change for us. And it's going to make it possible for programming that people might not ever know about to learn about. And that also means that in our programming, we're going to be pushing people to go to the YouTube channels a little more actively, so that people know to do that.
Okay, and what's your favorite equipment so far?
The favorite equipment from the new equipment?
Yes.
So I certainly love the fact we have a teleprompter. Teleprompter is really exciting. It makes it possible for students on our news to read the news directly into the camera and look the viewer in the eye instead of staring down at a piece of paper. So I really love that. But I mean, honestly, my favorite piece of equipment is the new DSLR camera.
Okay.
And I know what that's capable of, and almost no one else does yet.
Yeah.
But the quality of the video we're going to be able to produce with that is extraordinary. When we enter the 10-day film contest, or if a student decided to make their own film or shoot a commercial with that, the quality is just through the roof. And I can teach so much more about video production that I couldn't before using that camera.
Okay. Well, I'm Cheyenne here with Mr. Doyle, and we talked about the new equipment that video production have received.